that's what information operations is. That's what information warfare is. It's not about truth. It's about perception. Mm-hmm. It's about shaping perception to your advantage. This is a practice as old as the as intelligence itself. And when you think of there's a concept known as the OODA loop. I don't know if you've ever heard that before. John Boyd is a former fighter pilot, and he came up with the OODA loop. It's a observe, orient, decide, act, and basically it's the decision-making cycle. And the notion in dogfighting is that if you're the one who's acting, forcing a reaction, you're in control of the dogfight, and you could basically maneuver and shoot down anybody as long as you maintain that control. You're inside their decision-making cycle. So by exploiting what they call intelligence, it's not intelligence. Look, intelligence is processed data that's processed in a manner to the most accurate assessment.
So eventually, Scott Ritter's going to get to a goddamn point. I love the guy. Fantastic. Scott Ritter is fantastic. Scott Ritter made a name for himself. I believe saying, there's no weapons of mass destruction. The Bush administration wanted to lie about it, and he was going to go ahead and tell the goddamn truth. So Scott Ritter is fantastic. I don't think you can get any better than Scott Ritter in America. Scott Ritter, fucking A. So it's, I want to say it's a little disappointing because he's not on my side with the Russians, the Russian rape of Ukraine. Scott Ritter seems to be okay with it. He seems to think that both the two attacks with the Kramatorsk, the train station missile, and Bucha are, Ukrainian, their false flag attacks are kind of, he's being consistent with the Russian narrative. So he's offering a counter narrative, which is important. And in America, you have a right to speak. And if you want to, counter what he's saying, then give better evidence, give better arguments, and give better evidence. And don't goddamn ban him, don't censor him. Just don't listen to him if you don't like him, turn him off. Just what you typed in YouTube Scott Ritter, and then you were pissed off about what he had to say. I was Googling Scott Ritter, and then his name popped up, and it pissed me the fuck off. So Scott Ritter is fantastic, but I don't like that he's not on. So I want to mention, what is the evidence? What is the evidence? I am totally in favor of America's foreign policy right now. The goddamn White House is doing this fucking perfectly, fucking brilliantly. This is, giving weapons to them, I think, is like kind of a perfect way and to support, a nation state without getting your own hands bloody. We could do some more, but, he hasn't pushed for World War III. He's got to be careful. So I think it's absolutely appropriate that he's careful. It does fucking piss me the fuck off, though, that, that's been 9 days plus 31, that's 40 days, 45 days, day fucking 45. So for the last 40 days, we've had a gang of thieves raping and pillaging and killing and stealing and attacking and, fucking Ukraine over. Fucking the fuck out of Ukraine. Fucking Ukraine the fuck up. Russia's fucking Ukraine the fuck up. And so when people want to tell me, what? There's dead bodies in Bucha. Wait a second, a missile attack? A missile attack into the train station? Oh, that's false flag. That's the Azov Battalion. That's CIA. No, that's the US CIA pulls shit like that. And there is some evidence, for some suspicions, but the evidence so far is overwhelmingly fucking Russia did it. The Russians were there for 45 fucking days. You got dead bodies all over Bucha. Dead bodies all over goddamn Bucha. Well, there's just 6 bodies. I don't see hundreds. 410 motherfuckers. So, yeah, everybody, all the dumb shit. Well, we'll get to that in a second. But the Russians goddamn killed 410 civilians. Is there one or two that perhaps, was a civilian and maybe got shot by a Ukrainian? Perhaps. Was there one or two that may have been, a soldier or a military man who got shot by a Ukrainian? Probably, right? You're going to have a bunch of soldiers who got killed on both sides. So the civilian deaths are the ones that were outraged, especially the ones that were lying in the street. So we had, what, 6, 7 bodies lying in the goddamn street? Just lying in the fucking street. Cold, dead, rigor mortis already set in. They're all fucking frozen and shit. They're blue. They're turning, they're fugate blue. Dead bodies were there for 3 weeks at least. So we got, 45 days of raping, murdering, killing, pillaging. Over 21,000 Ukrainians have been murdered and killed. The Russians have been killing folks and are continuing to kill folks, but we're going to pretend, well, that one moment they probably didn't kill folks. Oh, okay. So you had a bank robbery where you had a whole bunch of people that got, murdered and killed and shit, but there was one moment when the bank robbers were in the bank, and actually what happened was a security guard just shot one of the civilians to get more sympathy for the bank and for his own cause to make better money, better pay. The Russians have only been raping and robbing and attacking and shooting, killing. You think the Russians are killing folks? They're only raping and robbing, attacking and shooting and killing folks. And they're continuing to kill folks. Good people, the little people, the innocent people, men, women, children, elderly, the poor and the vulnerable, les miserables. We got satellite images. How long were those bodies there? For 3 goddamned weeks. So that means the Russians killed all them civilians and then just drove by their fucking bodies. Just drove by their goddamn bodies. Like the fucking sick psychopaths that they are. Why did Ivan the Terrible, goddamn sack Novgorod, the fucking spiritual homeland of Russia? Ivan the fucking Terrible is out of Moscow, that Muscovite. He don't give a fuck about the Russian homeland. He don't give a fuck about the Russian people. He don't give a fuck about his own. You want to ask me, hell, why did this, You tell me, why did Ivan the Terrible fucking kill his own people? Ivan the Terrible, those Russian czars, they kill their own fucking people, let alone, other people. They got a terrible, wretched history. They're fucking dark, dreary, terrible, awful place. What a cesspool. Russia's a cesspool. If it's civilized, it's by total accident. So you got a shit ton of dead bodies. There's some evidence. Aaron Mate says, well, where's the evidence? Okay, you got a whole bunch of dead bodies. So a crime's occurred. A major fucking crime has occurred. And let's make Bucha ground fucking zero. Let's make Bucha ground fucking zero and that missile attack. Kramatorsk or whatever. Let's put both of those together and let's, adjudicate this in internet land or what have you. Let's look at the evidence, look at the things, put it all together, see what the fuck makes sense. Let's see what our logic... Let's see what our rational minds can figure out. So you got 410 dead bodies. They're going to sit there. They said some bullshit, but the satellite images prove that the bodies were lying there for 3 fucking weeks. So the Russians had been in Bucha, for whatever, since February something or early March, some shit. The initial invasion was February 24th, so they've been there for 3 weeks to about a month in Bucha. So since the Russians have been in Bucha for about 3 weeks to a month, and there's, 410 dead bodies, I bet you it was that occupying, murdering, raping, pillaging army that was just fucking here. I bet it was those goddamn troops, and some people said that perhaps... we haven't been seeing a high body count because of the crematoriums, which I'm not for sure is 100% true, but it's, been floated. It's been put out there. But is it possible that Russians are just killing, civilians willy-nilly? Yeah, maybe they're killing civilians who they thought were traitors. Maybe they said something. Maybe they witnessed something. Maybe they're killing the witnesses. Maybe they're just bloodthirsty motherfuckers. In Vietnam, the United States was just killing people to get a high body count, so they could tell their people they were winning the war. How can you tell that we're winning the war? Well, we've killed 4 million Vietnamese, and only 75,000 Americans have died. Just 75,000 Americans, but 4 million Vietnamese have died. That's how you can tell that we're winning. So the Russians go in there, kill a whole bunch of fucking people, leave the dead bodies of civilians there, right in the middle of the goddamn street for at least 3 fucking weeks. Now, really good evidence, okay, so we got some eyewitness testimony. I saw 2 people talking about their experiences, horrible, harrowing experiences We also got videotape. We got satellite images. We got a bunch of dead bodies, right? So you could do an autopsy. You could do, what else do they do? Autopsies and something else. Blood, something. So you can, do some science experiments. You can see how the bodies were laying. Videotape, photographs, eyewitness testimony. These are all forms of evidence. Satellite images, especially time-stamped videotape, time-stamped satellite images, time-stamped photos. Yeah, those are pretty good. If you actually saw the damn thing yourself, right, that's something too. Seeing is believing. Seeing is believing, okay, God. But if you're not in Ukraine, you're not going to see it for yourself, so you just have to put the evidence together and try to figure it out for yourself. So the eyewitness testimony, well, the biggest evidence is we got videotape. We got videotape of a Russian tanker literally killing a motherfucker on a bike. We literally got a Russian tanker killing, there's a guy on a bike, he's pedaling up. We got a drone, and they, just can zoom all over the city. So the bike is pedaling. You see the Russian tankers. You see about a line of 10 Russian tankers. The biker doesn't seem to know that the Russian tankers are over there. He's just enjoying, a fucking day, a nice day. He's just riding his bike. And then we see a bunch of gunshot bursts happen out of the tank. We see a whole bunch of gunshot bursts happening out of the tank. And then we don't see the biker anymore. And I think that the article I read said that the body where it looked like the body of that biker would have been laying is lying right there on that goddamn street. So Aaron Mate, we got the smoking gun. We got fucking videotape. We got eyewitness evidence. We got videotape. We got, photos. We got satellite images. We got dead bodies, 410 fucking dead. Nobody argues about that. The conspiracy theorists and the smart people, nobody argues that there's definitely 410 dead bodies. 410 means there's 410 murders, mass murder. Somebody is responsible for the bulk of those 400 murders. Somebody is responsible. They said there's the butcher of Bucha. They got the guy's name. They got the general's name out there. I'm not for sure what that. But, yeah. So, lots of evidence. So, the eyewitness testimony. So, we got fucking videotape. Videotape isn't good enough. Putin's a terrible dictator terrorist. He's been a terrorist since 1999 when he killed tens of thousands of Chechens in the heart of Caucasia. Hey, Caucasians, how come you don't give a shit about your homeland? Caucasia? Fucking Putin killed tens of thousands of people in the heartland. I think, right? Chechnya and Armenia, they're in the heart of Caucasia. The land of Caucasia. You ever been to Caucasia? Oh, bye. The two eyewitness testimonies. I'll try to just say this real quick. The two eyewitness testimonies is I saw two citizens of Bucha who were talking about the occupation and the murders. You had one man said, oh yeah, there's an old woman I saw with a, bullet wound in her head. I saw another dead body over there and another dead body over there. And if it was any regular given day, you're like, well, shit, he just casually saw a whole bunch of dead bodies and just kept on walking. So yeah, Russia came into the fucking town, killed a bunch of people, scared the people that aren't ready to fight. People are hiding in their basements and shit. Russia, they said, was all fucking nice and it was harmonious and tranquil and just so peaceful. When the Russians came, that was when real freedom actually was here. Real freedom was when the Russians came. When they left, that wasn't Liberation Day. Some people want to act like it was a fucking, skip through rosy red, field of lilacs or some shit. Oh yeah, the Russians came in here, started skipping with us, jumping rope and skipping, frolicking through the meadow. God, the Russians were so fucking, the jokes and the games and the things that they came up with, the silly faces. My God, Russia. So those are the main, piece of evidence there. The bullshit that basically Russia's saying a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of fucking lies. So they're saying a bunch of lies, and the shit that the State Department and the fucking CIA and the Pentagon, all their shit's holding up so far. So there's evidence. There's a bunch of evidence that says Putin and the Russians are doing exactly what Putin and the Russians said that they were going to fucking do. So